allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a consent agenda that I would entertain a motion to approve, or if there aren't any questions.
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 3, we have Ben Meyer here. There's going to be a proclamation declaring the month of May as Mental Health Month. Ben?
Yeah, hi everyone. Seems like you guys have a lot of proclaiming, so I'll try to keep it short. My name is Benjamin Meyer. I'm the Prevention Program Director at MIR. I think I've interacted with a lot of you guys through that position. I oversee a lot of different things, but specifically we work with STAN kids on both mental health and substance use, and what we hear from students, what we've noticed from students, and I think just what everybody kind of knows is those things go hand in hand. While we are substance use, while we're focused on substance use, you can't really address that without also addressing mental health. Most of the students who choose to use do it for coping reasons. So I'm excited about this. Yeah, we're also working with our coalition on addressing some mental health things along with substance use. That said, I will move on to the proclamation. May is Mental Health Matters Month. This proclamation will recognize May 2024 as Mental Health Matters Month in Newton, Kansas to enhance public awareness of mental health and dispel the stigma surrounding it. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and whereas prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas there is a strong body of research that supports specific tools that all Americans can use to better handle challenges and protect their health and well-being, and whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and whereas with early and effective treatment, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives, and whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts.
Therefore, I, Mayor Rod Cry, do hereby proclaim May 2024 as Mental Health Matters Month in Newton, Kansas. As mayor, I also call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Newton to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health. The steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. I'd entertain a motion to approve May as Mental Health Month.
I would make that motion.
I motion proclamation of Mental Health Matters Month.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. And I might call Dana Shiflett up to read a proclamation declaring May as Bike Month and May 13th through 19th as Bike to Work Week and May 17th as Bike to Work Day.
That's a lot.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a lot of biking.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Mayor Kriebel. I am Dana Shiflett. I am chairman of Walk and Roll Harvey. And I didn't write this. So I'm going to stumble through it probably. But a mayoral proclamation for Bike Month, Bike Week, and Bike to Work Day in Newton. Whereas the bicycle is an economical, healthy, convenient, and environmentally sound form of transportation and an excellent tool for recreation and enjoyment of Newton's scenic beauty. And whereas the City of Newton is implementing bikeway improvements throughout the city to encourage and facilitate safe and convenient travel by bicycle. And whereas the City of Newton's road and trail system attracts bicyclists each year, providing economic health, transportation, tourism, and scenic benefits. Whereas the League of American Bicyclists, Walk and Roll Harvey County, bicycle clubs, schools, parks and recreation departments, police departments, hospitals, companies, and civic groups throughout the country will be promoting bicycling as a leisure activity, as well as an environmentally friendly alternative to the automobile during the month of May 2024. And whereas the education of bicyclists and motorists as to the proper and safe operation of bicycles is important to ensure the safety and comfort of all users.
Now therefore, I, Rod Cry, Mayor of Newton, Kansas, do hereby proclaim May 24th as National Bike Month in Newton, the week of May 13th through May 19th as Bike to Work Week. Mr. Dunleavy, you need to bike to work. And May 17th is Bike to Work Day, and I urge all residents to join me in this very special observance. Okay, I need a motion to approve all of that stuff for the bikes.
I move that we accept, or that we receive that proclamation for Bike to Work Week and Bike to Work Day.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion in a couple seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Chief Dunleavy, you're on deck.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners.
Thank you. You did
Dana.
very well.
Love that voice.
Excellent.
Yeah, you really, you've got a radio voice.
I think I'm on Lake Wobegon.
It's going to be hard to compete with that voice. What?
Okay, we're going to receive a proclamation declaring May 12th through 18th as National Police Week and May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day.
Yes. Police Week is a good opportunity to reflect upon the sacrifices in law enforcement. The men and women they sacrifice every day. So this is just a good opportunity to reflect upon that. Tomorrow, May 15th, 11:30, we're going to have a little memorial out in front of the law enforcement center. It is at 11:30. I promise to get back to you on
Yes.
that. 11:30 tomorrow. So we're going to have a little memorial out there at that time. So if you're free, you're welcome to attend. That's for everybody to attend. So I'll go on with the proclamation. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officer Memorial Day, and the week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of the Newton Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the city of Newton, and whereas important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding the life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppressions. And whereas the men and women of the Newton Police Department unceasingly provide a vital public service, and in doing so have established themselves at an enduring reputation and for preserving the rights and security of all citizens.
Therefore, I, Rod Cry, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Newton in the state of Kansas, do hereby proclaim the week of May 12th through 18th of 2024 as National Police Week, and call upon all citizens of the city of Newton to observe Wednesday, May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the community or have become disabled in the performance of their duty. And let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes.
I move to 2024 proclamation Police Week.
Okay, got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay,
Okay, thank you very much.
thank you. You did good.
Wow.
It's just like riding a bike. Okay, now Suzanne, Public Works Week.
Yes, Public Works wants in on this too. Okay, the theme for this year is advancing quality of life for all around the National Association of Public Works Week. That's the focus. So whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustain and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Newton, Kansas. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, solid waste systems, public buildings, parks, IT, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Newton, Kansas to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities, and whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th Annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association.
Be it now resolved, I, Mayor Rod Cry, do hereby designate the week of May 19th through 25th, 2024 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing the quality of life for all. Okay.
I move for proclamation of Public Works Week.
Okay, got a motion
I'll second that.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Your turn, Chief Roberson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commission. Best for last.
Save the best for last.
Or the entertainment dollar goes a little farther here. So this year, the theme for EMS Week is honoring our past while forging our future. To designate the week of May 19th through 2024 as Emergency Medical Services Week, whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the emergency medical services system consisting of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, you're welcome, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to maintain a well as enhanced their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week.
Now, therefore, I, Rod Cry, Mayor of the City of Newton, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 19th through the 25th as Emergency Medical Services Week. With the theme, Honoring Our Past, Forging Our Future, I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
I move EMS Week proclamation.
Got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Did we miss anybody?
Thank you.
Shirley?
There's no Shirley here.
Don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
Carly, talk to us.
Hello, I'm Carly Stavola, and I am representing both USD 373 as the Director of Communications, but also a volunteer on the All Together Now Inclusive Playground campaign. And this is my associate, Piper.
Hi, Piper.
Hi.
We are formally requesting the City of Newton to waive all applicable city permit and inspection fees up to $3,500 for the Slate Creek Inclusive Playground, which is set to begin construction very soon. All Together Now is a grassroots fundraising campaign and a component fund of the Newton Community Foundation, an affiliate of Central Kansas Community Foundation. This volunteer-led campaign has raised over $700,000 in charitable donations to build a destination inclusive playground at Slate Creek Elementary School. Slate Creek is home to Harvey County's severely multiply disabled classroom, and the playground will allow all of Slate Creek students to play together. Outside school hours, the playground will be open to the public and will be listed as a national demonstration site for inclusive play. We appreciate you considering this contribution to our project.
I move Slate Creek Inclusive Playground.
Fees be waived. Okay, got a motion
Okay. I second that.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very
How's that?
much.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for all, yeah, that's a He-Man's project.
That is
Yeah,
perfect.
and our own Erin McDaniel she was on the
Yeah.
committee too.
Thank you, Piper.
And it was started by a group of grade school kids. Wow. Consider a request to close West Fifth Street between Poplar and Plum and request the use of picnic tables and trash containers for HMC Family Fun Day on October 9th of 2024. Rebecca.
Yes, this request comes to you like many of our street closing requests, and you'll notice that the staff has reviewed the application and finds it appropriate for your review and endorses the event. You'll just notice that requested use of picnic tables and trash containers, which is why it is moved from a consent item.
Okay.
I would move that we do that.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Consider participation in the KDOT Federal Fund Exchange Program. Suzanne.
Yes, Commissioners, this program, I bring it to you every year. It's a voluntary program. We do not have to exchange the funds. These are dollars that would come to us through the state of Kansas. They're federal funds that transfer to the city via KDOT. We request to transfer or to exchange them. It's 90 cents on the dollar because otherwise we would be sending project plans to KDOT and they would have to approve it and they would have to be built to the specifications, the state specifications instead of our local specifications. And those are slightly different because we don't build highways here in Kansas. We build arterials, collectors, residential streets, and so it's a little bit different. And so every year since this program started in 2011, we have been participating, and I would again request that we exchange these federal funds to pay for improvements on our, like our annual overlay program, our street maintenance slurry program. They changed the rules on this a few years ago, and we have to submit for reimbursement in September of this year. So I can't throw the money towards another project and kind of bank the dollars. So we have to send actual receipts in to show that we have invoices for the work that's done on some projects. So we try and use it on one of those annual projects. And the dollar amount that we would be exchanging this year we exchange for $257,366.77, which means we're going to receive $231,630.09 if you approve. And we would ask that you approve the exchange of funds and authorize me to sign all of the related agreements and paperwork.
My only question, is that the total amount that we had available or only that which we think that we can consume?
It's the total amount that's available to us.
And we're on target of consuming it. Not going to leave anything on the
We
table.
don't leave a penny.
Good.
I move that we approve the exchange of funds
I'll
and
second.
authorize Suzanne the signing and the documents and the agreements and et cetera, et cetera.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Okay. Consider a resolution of support authorizing a grant application for the KDOT Transportation Alternatives Program. Suzanne?
Yes, Commissioners, this is a little bit different type of grant application. Erin and I have been working on this, and she's done the lion's share of the work. I give her a number, she does all the words, and she's really good at that. We have a map up on the screen that shows in blue where we are applying for this grant to extend the bike path from its ending today, that is approximately at the dam there on Sand Creek, and we would extend all the way down along Sand Creek, go underneath the railroad trestle, and then tie in at 14th Street. The bike path that goes through the golf course comes up to Southwest 14th Street there by the wastewater treatment plant. And this would connect so that you could go from the south end of town on the golf course all the way up to the North Newton paths. This is the missing link. But we are shooting for the moon on this one because this is a big project. It's about 1.5 miles worth of pathway. And it's an expensive project that we are requesting the funds through the TA program, which is the federal funds, but we would also be requesting and eligible to receive, if we get the grant through the state, the matching funds, and that 20% local match would come from the state. But again, there are a lot of people that apply for these dollars, but we need you to approve our application. We didn't include it in the packet, it's huge. But what we're asking for is a grant that would, total project cost is roughly $3.6 million, and it would build the path as shown. It also ties into the location where our new stormwater wetlands is, which is really another nice feature. We may have to obtain right-of-way. Well, we will if we can't convince the railroad to just allow us to utilize a portion of the area that goes under the railroad trestle. We haven't approached that. Many years ago, we applied for a grant similar to this, and we were not successful. But we did talk to the railroad at that time, and they were interested. So it's not a dead deal, but we didn't want to go down that road until we knew whether we would receive the funds or not.
Okay. So we need a motion for approval of that grant. Any discussion, questions?
Second.
Yeah. I would make that motion.
Okay, got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
And the last thing, consider an updated agreement for the I-135 and 36th Street interchange reconstruction. Suzanne?
Yes. You approved a very similar agreement back in September, and I'm bringing it back to you. If you recall, there are this is for the interchange improvements at I-135 and 36th Street, and there are a few items that were our responsibility as the city to fund. And there was one last item. There should be one more. That's the one. Nope, if we can keep that one up. This is a little difficult to see, but there was one item that has come up here in the last month, and KDOT called and asked what we wanted to do. But if you recall, this bridge that goes over the interstate, we are adding a walking path that would be on the north side. And there was a ton of discussion about this when we started this project clear back in 2014. And the consensus was, yes, let's put it on one side. The pedestrians and the driving public need to be separated. And so there is a retaining wall that comes up, but there's also the retaining wall on the outside of a bridge or the walking path in this instance. And it has to have a fence on top of it so that people don't just dive over, fall over, whatever you will. And what the state will pay for is a chain link fence. And they ask, would you prefer an ornamental fence? And I thought you might prefer that because the city commission had wanted this. This is the entryway to the city on the south. And there were some other things that you had approved previously. And so the addition of an ornamental fence, and you can see it at the top of this very engineered drawing, and it didn't dawn on me until late today that this ornamental fence that's shown in this drawing at the top, it has little circles on the very top. if you look at it closely, it looks exactly like the ornamental fencing in front of City Hall, where the walk is between it and the bushes. And so that would be what we would be paying for if you wanted to increase this agreement by $26,050, up to our portion being $344,915.61. We have this plugged into our CIP, and so if you want to move forward, I would ask that you would approve the agreement before you today.
Okay.
It's just less industrial looking.
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion? Questions? Call for a motion then.
I move that we approve this agreement.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We don't have anybody on for citizen forum. So we do have one item for executive session. And we won't make a...
No action following.
Yeah, there'll be no action following that. So you guys can stick around and wave at us when we come back in, or go ahead and call it an evening. So, so somebody needs to read the motion.
Would you like to go around the whole, Mayor, or do you want to?
Yeah, I've been gone, and I just forgot a bunch of stuff.
We said you have
I had one of them.
one meeting away.
One of them.
You forget how to run it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So let's go this way. Do you have anything you would like to share? No. Okay,
No, sir.
look at this.
Just thank you for being at the work session and participating. I think it went really well.
Yes.
Also celebrated the first full week of May is Public Service Week, which sort of wraps up all of the proclamations today. Public Service Recognition Week is a time to set aside to honor employees who work at all levels of government. And it's an opportune time to share and educate others about the work they do and why they choose public service careers, as well as how government services make life better for all of us. So I'd like to thank all of our employees for the hard work that they do day in and day out, because it's impactful work and it really shapes who we are and what we do. That being said, I'd like to, in celebration of this week, I'd like to highlight one specific person. I'm sorry, Erin. I would like to highlight Erin McDaniel, who received the 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award from, I believe, USD 373. She was one of 3 recipients. She was also named a Friend of Education for her work on the Slate Creek Inclusive Playground Project. So she received 2 awards in 1 week, I believe. So,
Wow.
Erin, thank you very much for all your hard work.
Congrats.
That's all I have.
Okay. That was a good workshop tonight. I'm looking forward to working with the school board and the rec center as we move forward on a real worthy project for kids in this community. And then I just want to say that the KDOT meeting last week, I really appreciated that, and the KDOT officials that were there did a real good job of explaining on some of those designs. And there were lots of questions, and you could hear some emotions, but it was a good meeting, and I was really thankful that it has happened. So looking forward to see what those changes will be like.
There's a lot of things happening around Newton. Just keep your eyes open and peeled. The library's up and running, the Slate Creek Playground, and now the Themian Park. Those are all great examples of public-private partnerships, with the Railer Foundation leading the way on fundraising on that. You know, not too often do members of the community or groups come in and say, we want to do this for you. You know, so that was kind of refreshing to see. So it'd be interesting to see, watch that happen. Looking forward to Thursday. It's kind of the kickoff of the Adaptive Open out at Sand Creek Station. So a ton of great things going on.
Yeah. So are you going to play?
Well, I'll be there.
So people
Yeah.
can come out and watch you
Oh,
hit a golf ball.
yeah, we'll call
Yeah.
it that.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
Donna's seen it happen.
The Adaptive Open's going to be here before we know it. It's first part of July, and they're still looking for people to volunteer to help. So if you feel the urge, you can go onto the Sand Creek Station website and sign up to work for that. We aren't going to turn anybody away that wants to work, and so even if you don't know how to play golf, there are still things you can do that has nothing to do with having golf knowledge. So venture out there, and I'm going to play too, Rich. So anyway, it's going to be sad for you and me to get beat by golfers that.
I'm honored too.
Yeah, I am too, yeah. So that's really cool. Then we had a groundbreaking this morning at Prairie View too.
Yes, that was really.
Their new concept of on-campus treatment without actually being in their hospital is going to be real cool. They're building individual little homes that people that are looking to better their lives because they have substance abuse. It's just really a cool, and they're looking for contributions too. So if anybody feels the call to help with that project also. So, and I too am excited about Theme and Park. After the meeting, I drove by there, went all the way around it, and it's an old historic park. That's for sure. So, anyway, we'll now go into our executive session.
Say 7:45 would be good.
7:45. Okay.
Who's going to read?
I move that the city commission recess into executive session to conduct discussions with legal counsel. The justification for closing the meeting is to consult with the city attorney to discuss matters privileged under the attorney-client relationship. And the time and place at which the open meeting shall resume is 7:45 p.m. at the city commission chambers here at City Hall.
Okay.
Okay, got a motion
I second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for coming. Or we'll see you in a little while, one of the two. no action after that executive session, and the meeting is adjourned.